xanthelasma removal and the most expensive ways to have xanthelasma removed, and we're going to show you how these expensive ways are also the most likely solutions that will likely give you scarring. The first one is surgery. Surgery by excision is pretty much guaranteed to leave you nice scars instead of your xanthelasma. It's because of the nature of the scalpel. The scalpel is not a precise tool. So when you actually try and use a scalpel around your eyelids, the eyelid area is very, very thin. You'll make some mistakes. When you make some mistakes, you touch the dermis. When you touch the dermis, you will actually increase the risks of scarring. And also, when there are two ways of dealing with xanthelasma removal after surgery. One is stitching up the areas where the xanthelasma used to be, and you will leave a scar that way. Two is by healing of secondary intention. The scarring is still possible, it's less likely, but it's still quite likely that it's going to occur after using surgery. So surgery is the most likely option which will leave you scarring. Number two is lasers removal. Why is lasers removal a bit likely to leave you some scarring? The reason is because you pay so much for laser removal, for xanthelasma laser removal, that the pressure is on the operator in order to remove your xanthelasma within one session. Because the pressure is on to them to remove your xanthelasma within one session, because you pay so much money, they will try and go as deep as possible. When they try and go as deep as possible in order to do it, then they're likely to cause damage to the dermis. And when they do so, then you're very likely to get a permanent scarring after the healing is done. So these two methods are the ones that are the most likely, the most expensive, and the most likely to leave you scarring. Then if you're using electrical arcing, for electrical arcing, since the cost is quite low, electrolysis or TCA or the xanth remover, since the pressure is not on, then the likelihood of scarring are extremely low. So the paradoxical situation is that the most expensive the treatments, as to say surgery and lasers, are the most likely to leave you with a scar, whereas the least expensive are the least likely to leave you with a scar. But another thing to actually bear in mind before we leave you with this video is that there is a difference between hypopigmentation that almost everyone gets after the area is healed with after these treatments to remove their xanthelasma, because the new skin has grown and therefore is not pigmented yet, and scars. Basically, the hypopigmentation will fade over time, and there's something natural which happens also with the xanth remover. And scars are normally hypertrophic scars, which will last there and will be there visiblish forever. So visiblish forever, I'm actually using this term because there's also, even in these cases, there's also ways in order to attenuate this sort of scars. So yes, in this video therefore we covered the most likely treatments that will leave you scars, and the least ones treatments that are likely to leave you scars. And paradoxically, the least expensive, the least likely you'll have scars after your xanthelasma have been removed.